All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome to Sunday Night Charts with Jim of All Trades. Good to see you. My name's Jim. I'm a crypto trader, and I'm here to help you understand the market from an Elliott Wave perspective. Hope you guys are well. What's going on, guys? Guys, I'm here to show you what's going on with Bitcoin. And let's see, we just hit a new high just the other night. Just took the high out and got a little bit of a pullback. What can we expect in price? What does that mean, guys? Are we going to 150K? Is that where we're headed? Or, is there any way to know? What is the wave structure telling us? Well, I'm going to show you what I see, and we'll go from there. But it does mean something pretty big. So we'll look at it in just a moment. But don't forget, guys, don't mistake anything I say tonight for financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I am a trader, and I trade crypto, and I'm in and out of positions. I'm in and out of positions very quickly. So I'm personally am kind of more of a scalper than I am a long-term trader, like holding big positions for a long time. So with that said, that's kind of the way I operate. So whether it goes up or down, it really doesn't matter to me. I don't have a horse in this race, guys. I don't. I'm not pulling for any particular crypto, and I'm not looking for any kind of long-term investment. So that's one good thing you get out of the channel. You get an unbiased opinion over where the market might be heading. I don't have any hopium. And I don't have any kind of expectation one way or the other. I'm just going to tell you where I think wave structure is pointing us, okay? And I'll be as honest as I can about it. At the end of the day, I want all my people to know I can be wrong and am often wrong. And so always be ready to be wrong. Do your own research. And please, 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 more important than anything in this world is not so much know where the market's going or think or being right. It's knowing how to be wrong. When you are wrong, and you will be, I don't care who you are, you will be wrong in your opinion, whatever your opinion is, and are you prepared to be wrong? Do you know how to manage your risk in such a way that you keep your losses small? So let me just say that on the outset. That's what you need to focus on is your psychology. That is it. That is the thing that's going to make you a successful trader in this world. So if you're here looking for the magic trading call, you're not going to get it. You're going to get a guy looking at the wave structure saying, this is the bullish way to interpret it, and this is the bearish way to interpret it. I'm going to give you a balanced view. I'm going to tell you what I think, where price could go, what I'm looking for. But at the end of the day, the chips fall where they may, and we have to be ready to be wrong in what we think. All right, there it is. Let me say hi to everybody. Said hi to me, and then we'll get rocking. There's Kimo Sabi. What's up, man? Thanks for the audio video check. Appreciate that, buddy. And make sure, on the front end, make sure you check out Kimo Sabi's channel. He's puts out all kinds of interesting information from differing perspectives, a wide array of perspectives. So he's a good dude, my good friend. And go see Kimo Sabi's channel. What's up, Alexandre Olivier? Bonjour, ça va? I hope so. Daniel L., hey man, you're here as always, as I can always count on you being here and saying hi. Always appreciate you, buddy. Glad you're here. Hey, Nani. What's up? How you doing? I don't know that I've ever seen your name in my live stream. Maybe I have, but I'm not placing it. Nani. Hey, Nani. I like your name, though. It's wonderful. What's up? How are you doing? Let's see. Hey, Jim of All Trades comment. Oh, he's amazing. Love that guy. Glad you're here, buddy. That's Joe Coco. I love your name, dude. I say that every time I say it. We got the highest weekly close for Bitcoin. That's, it's saying something. I'm not sure what it's saying, but it's definitely not anything to scratch your head over. No, I don't know what to say. It's not anything to ignore for sure. So, yeah, good observation, man. Eddie Bo, my man, how are you, sir? Good to see you. JQ and Keith M, my good friends as well. What's up? All right, I think I said hi to everybody that said hi to me. Appreciate you guys, as always. And let's jump into the channel. Hey, just FYI, if you guys, can I show you something real fast? Maybe any of you guys, let's see if I can find it. I got to switch accounts here. So I did a thing. I started a Bible YouTube channel, guys. It's called Show Us Christ. Here it is right here. Nope, not it. That's not it. Let me go to my channel. That's just Let's see. Let's see. View your channel. There it is, right there. There ain't no content on it, guys, but there will be content uploaded. I'm in the process of editing some videos. Got them edited and uploaded. I just have to do all the the YouTube stuff. But there it is. That is Show Us Christ, and that's what I'm going to be spending a lot of my time on, just getting the Word of God out to people. I'm just going to focus in on weekly scripture teaching. For the purpose of giving the light of the knowledge of the glory of God in the face of Jesus, 2 Corinthians 4:6. So, which is my life passage, as my life verse. So, any of you believers out there, any of you non-believers, seekers, any of you seeking God, you've been wondering, what's the Bible all about? That's who I am in this world, guys. I'm a Bible teacher. So, hey, there's my channel. Go subscribe. It'd be cool if I had some subscribers, like before I even posted content. But you should see some shorts popping up tonight or tomorrow, and some videos. And would love to have you guys as part of the channel. And then maybe you could just help me by, if you got any friends, maybe you got church or whatever. It's gonna be solid, Christ-centered. You'll be surprised how Christ-centered, just Christ-focused teaching on this channel. So if you want to share it with non-believers or people that are trying to learn how to read the Bible, don't know how to go about it, that's what the channel's about. Is what for new and old believers alike. It's just for good Bible teaching. So anyway, there you go. I wanted to share that with you. I got 10,000 subs on my channel. I was hoping to get some of you to carry over. Maybe we can start some momentum rocking in that channel. So yeah, Show Us Christ. There it is. Let me know if you found it. It's at Show Us Christ 2C46, which is 2C46 stands for 2 Corinthians 4:6. All right. So there's the shameless plug for that channel. Let me get rid of that. All right, Bitcoin. That's what you came here for, not that channel, but hopefully maybe you'll get a little bit extra. Oh, hey, and just for the what it's worth department, I have a playlist on the Jim of All Trades channel of some Bible teaching, how I see the end times shaping up, as well as where Bitcoin fits into that end times perspective in the last days of Scripture. So if any of you guys are interested in that, I've got a whole playlist on that as well. So it's kind of a Bible study that I recorded in my Discord. So nothing special, no kind of value there as far as editing value, but pop a link. Oh, sure. Yeah, let me go see if I can. Yeah, it's a good idea. Let me go to my channel here, and I'll where is view my channel? I'll pop the link to Show Us Christ. Perfect. There's the link to the channel. Boom, that's Show Us Christ. Subscribe. You should see some content coming out this week. Would love for you to help me get that started. Maybe you guys could, that'd be great. But then as far as my other channel, let me switch to that account here, Jim of All Trades. Boom. And let me go home. Let's see. My channel. There we go. And you can go to playlists. If you go to playlists right there, you'll see the End Times Chronicles right there, and that's a playlist. Oh, don't want to play it. Oh, come on, stop. Okay, so yeah, there's that playlist right there. So I don't know how to share that. If you guys want to stop,
all right, guys,
there we go. Sorry about that. I don't know how to share that playlist. There we go. Let's see, can I share it? Is there a way to share it? Yeah, there's a way to share it right there. Copy and paste. Boom. There it is. Okay, so there's some Bible teaching there for you if you're interested, especially if you want to talk about what's going on in this world, especially where does Bitcoin fit in that. All right, let me give you the analysis here. Hey, thanks for enduring that little bit there. Appreciate it. All right, thanks, Chemo, for the idea of popping the link. Appreciate it. All right. Excuse me. All right, so here's what's going on with Bitcoin. We got another high. It kind of keeps hitting the high, So, so what does this mean? Well, I mean, personally, it just means that we're probably topping. Again, this is a topping formation. Now, what the wave structure is, I'm not exactly sure. I'm going to offer some ideas, but I had to let go. I will say this: I had to let go of one of my primary accounts. because I'm just like, yeah, I think it's time to let go of it. So one of the counts that I'm letting go of is not the fact, but the concept that this right here is a flat. Okay, to there. I was looking at that as a flat to there. I'm not a fan of that anymore. Though, I mean, I suppose it's certainly, yeah. I don't love it anymore, especially with this hit to the high. It's pretty much it just keeps going up. So I'm where I am. I'm just kind of letting that go. I'm letting that count go. I'm just not seeing that as so. How do we handle the macro view? Because I need a macro interpretation here. I had an idea here that one thing I don't know that I love it, but let me just offer another idea of trying to understand this macro count here. What if? This is something kind of interesting here. What if we have just move up rather than okay, it could be a leading diag still, where you got a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And notice where I put the 3. I put it here. Okay, and we're calling this a potential flat. Okay, but it doesn't matter. Here is the same thing. But I think for the sake of this count, I'm going to put it here, because what if there's a way to look at this first wave with 3 waves there, okay, and the second wave as 3 there, and then what if? Here's just another what if here. What if this is also 3? Boom, connector, boom. So in other words, what you need to know about leading diagonals is they can either be made by 5s or 3s, but they all have to be the same. So a leading diag could be 5, 3, 5, 3, 5. Okay, and that's kind of well, that's not very well drawn. 5, 3, 5, 3, 5. There's a leading diag there. You can have an expanding diag, much more like we have on the chart here, where you got something like that, right? And that's more of what we got going on here. And it could be 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, or it can be 3, 3, 3, 3, and 3. Okay, so everything's 3. And so that's another way of interpreting it, where you still have a leading diag, but now we're interpreting the waves in light of 3s rather than 5s. So, and I guess why I'm saying this is because up to this point, I've been interpreting this wave in light of 5, right? But every time it hits the high, it makes it harder and harder to look at it as 5. Why is that? Well, because you got a kind of a clear 1, 2 right there. That's fine and dandy. There's a 1, 2, right? Where's your 3? So are we saying this is 3, 4, and 5? Now, 5 isn't finished, maybe. So I think that is a way, but that's what you got to do. You got to say this is now a wave 4, and what this was, if you're going to interpret it as 5, that's a fourth of the third wave. So this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's wave 3. Okay. This was wave 4 of the entire wave, and now this is wave 5. Now, the problem with that, now that totally could be. In fact, that might be the way to interpret it. So that's one way. Or you could say, hey, listen, that's a connector. That's 3, and then this is 3. Okay? And so that's a W, X, and a Y wave. That's 3 waves. This was 3 waves. And this trash here, well, let's just say it's 3. You can't really see it. Let's just call it 3 for sake of argument here. So that's one way I'm thinking about it. But again, I'm not trying to force the count. I'm just trying to make sense of the macro interpretation, because my primary interpretation is kind of proven to be not so good, or not the main interpretation. Now, so going back to this as 5, though, looking at this wave here as 5 waves, I'm trying to say, okay, how could that be 5? Well, let's go to the 3-day, because it sees something interesting, and maybe I should have seen this before. But what's made it hard is the size of this wave. Oh, come on. Right there. Size of that wave looks like a wave 4, and this is acting like a 5. So it's acting like a 4 and a 5. Okay. And you had that hidden bullish divergence after the wave 4, and then you had the 5, and you had the regular divergence right there. And that was pointing you to the downside. That was a beautiful 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It was almost too beautiful. And it was indeed too beautiful. Why? Because after they made the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they took the high out, pulled back, took the high out again, pulled back, took the high out again, pulled back, took the high out again. They keep taking the highs out. But you know what? It's interesting. It's reminiscent. It's reminiscent of Bitcoin price action at the top. Where have I seen this before? Oh, yeah. Right here and right here. Okay? Now this wave was a little bit small pullback, but they hit the high, boom, pulled back, hit the high, pulled back, hit the high. They just kept hitting the high, hitting the high, hitting the high, but not really going anywhere in price. They did it again. Shot up really fast here, hit the high, pulled back, hit the high, tanked. So there's a pattern here of normality that, when Bitcoin's reaching its tops, it likes to hit the high and not go real far in price. It'll kind of come up, pull back, hit, pull back, hit, pull back. Okay. So it's possible. It's possible here that that's what's going on, that this is just a topping formation. Now, what would be the count? I'm offering as one idea here, trying to understand it, is that you've got some kind of a 1-2 right here, and we're going to call this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is top of wave 3. Notice you've got a peak here in the RSI. So there's the top of wave 3. Okay. Then what do you got? You've got the pullback here. Now you got some kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You got 5 waves there, and you got all the divergences you're expecting to see, kind of looking looking like we expected to see on the RSI and the 3-day with the way price is moving. So there's a lot of reasons to think that, hey, we could be reaching a top. What's interesting is the amount of volume. I mean, look at the magnitude of the volume that we have in crypto here on exchanges early on. Just huge amounts of volume, right? And and price went and then pulled back so hard, right? We had all that volume, and then all of a sudden, all we've had up to this point is declining volume as price has just been pushing up. That's a dangerous thing from my perspective. I mean, basically, as price goes up, when I say dangerous, I just mean it's telling, right? Because as price goes up, interest in buying volume is going down, yet price is being manipulated and pushed up. Okay, so we know that price is manipulated and price is being pushed, but it's being pushed up not because there's a great demand and we got increasing volume that's pushing this as an impulse wave. No. See right here, you see where the volume was increasing here? Volume was increasing at the beginning stages as it was pushing up. Volume increased right here into this first move right there. Volume all through here was increasing, okay, in that move. Okay, but all we've had ever since this hit the low, we had one massive buy zone right here, and we just had we've had declining volume the entire time. Okay, so I know a volume breakout spike is coming. Okay, but what form is that going to take? Okay, what form is that going to take? Is that going to take a major sell candle volume, or is that going to be a spike that's going to be move into a sell candle? Okay. Sorry, I was just reading your comment, Chemo. We don't have a weekly candle close yet of a lower low. It's obviously it's a higher high in the weekly. So that doesn't mean price can't be taken out here, but it could be that we have some more playing around to do up here, maybe. Anyway, so volume's interesting. I've been looking at it. It's declining. That's pointing to the fact that there's less and less interest at buying Bitcoin at these prices. What I think needs to happen in order to, and what you'll notice is that these volume spikes that you got here, they came at the bottom of major sell-offs. After corrections, you get these big volume spikes coming in where buyers are coming in. Okay, that's where the buyers come in. Okay, so volume spike number one at $30,000. Okay, then you had another volume spike here again, just below it when price took out that level. Another volume spike came in. There was a big buy zone, and that came at the bottom of that. So we know that was buy volume, even though it's a sell volume candle. We know that's buying volume. Okay, and then you've got major volume here at this low. So all the volumes coming in at lows here. So that's telling me buyers are interested here. Okay. But when you look and as this was moving up, this first move, there was rising volume. Okay. So there's rising volume as this was moving up and out. Interest was, but when we had a pullback, there wasn't a lot of interest here. Okay. In fact, this volume right here happened. This is a lot of volume at the top of candles, not at the bottom. This to me is beginning of a sell-off. Okay. Pulling back, moving on. I'm looking for more volume to come in here at the top to sell it off. And I think if we get a pullback back to this level, back to these zones, you're going to see major volume coming back in the market. Probably volume like you've not seen in a long time, I would imagine, is my guess. Okay, so volume probably coming in. So I still anticipate a wave like that. I just don't know the wave count exactly. Let me offer some ideas here. So I personally, again, am not expecting to see price zoom up and out of here to 200K from here. I don't think the volume profile is telling that story, though I could be wrong in that analysis. However, I always want to say that, right? Because I don't want anybody putting too much weight on my opinion or my thoughts here. So, when and how is that sell-off coming? I don't know, and I don't know at what price, right? I have often spoken about 145K, but I really don't have a wave count that I love that supports that 145K right now. So I've kind of abandoned that 145K mark, though price could go up there. I just, for me, I can't see the wave count that's going to take us there personally. What makes more sense to me is that this is still part of a macro leading diag that could be about finished. Okay. And I'll show you another interpretation here that it could be finished with this wave in the same locale. But the interpretation is now, instead of this being a flat that I was talking about there, I've abandoned that we could have a beginning wave working like this, get a second wave. And that's how we get down to 100 to 50K. It becomes a 3-wave correction. Okay. Something like that, in which we have things going sideways for the next couple of years, staying in this range while adoption is happening, a flash crash for a big move to the upside. Just remember, Chemo, that even though you're seeing selling volume, you gotta keep in mind it's buying volume, because if somebody's selling, that means someone's buying, right? So all buying volume is selling volume, and all selling volume is buying volume. Okay, so there's always somebody buying and selling. So I don't care what color the candle is. The question is, where does the volume come in? Where? And my point is that when you see when I look at this chart, okay, I'm seeing the volume coming in at the lows of these, which suggests to me that that's where the buying interest really is. The real volume, the real players, the people that are running this market, the real interest is on these spike lows. That's where the volume comes in for the big moves to the upside. Okay, so I'm expecting the same kind of thing. I need to see a spike low. Okay, 70K, even 50K, as low as 50K, before we see the massive move. Now you'll notice that each move progressively is getting bigger here. Now, that's called an expanding diag as far as I'm concerned. Okay, we have an expanding diag with a throw over. So I personally am looking for a three-wave pullback that could go as low as 20, 30K, but that's going to be one of those spike lows that gets a V-shaped. And I'm expecting to zoom out. Now, this is when I would probably go logarithmic here to show you the chart. But I'm expecting crypto to do something like this, okay? But it may not go quite like that. It may be more of a diagonal, But it could go parabolic. But that's the kind of wave. That's the kind of wave I think is developing, that when you just look at the price history here, that if we could see price 10, 20 years from now, we're just going to look at all this as a big wave one. We need this kind of a, 3-year pullback. I've been calling for a crypto winter, so to speak, to kind of set the stage for the rising new digital age that is just going to just go up and up and up and never stop. We need one more time where where the big boys finally reposition all their money. Okay. Where the big boys, I'm reading charts and talking at the same time. Sorry about that. I'm reading your comments and talking at the same time. Sorry. So, but that's the kind of wave I'm expecting to see. And as an Elliott wave, again, looking 10 years from now, 20 years from now, it's all going to be clear. Oh yeah, we had a leading diag, was a 3-wave pullback, and then boom, and over the next 100 years, crypto's value is just going to get more and more massive. Why? Because the fixed supply of Bitcoin, right? And Bitcoin will eventually die when in the next iteration, okay? Whenever the next iteration of whatever happens, and I don't know what year that's going to be, after Bitcoin does its thing, right? That's going to be the first iteration of the digital world if we last that long, and then there's going to be a decline, right? Eventually. And that's going to take 100 years or something like that. Maybe faster. I don't know. But you get the idea. As we apply wave structure analysis and just look over time, this is the way markets move. We expect crypto to be moving up. But I just think that this is just not going to go straight up like everybody wants it to. I think everybody's wanting this price now. I think that's what everybody wants. And I just don't, that's not the way waves move. It's just not, in my opinion, I just don't, I'm not seeing that. If you just kind of zoom out and just look, guys, just look at it, guys. I mean, these kinds of things happen all the time. There's your move to 100, there's your move to 50K I've been talking about. Then let's go, okay? But that's what I think is needed next. Okay, that's why I've been so bearish where we are, because of this wave structure here and just what we need to see on the macro. But that's going to be your buy opportunity of your lifetime. Okay, why? Well, you had a buy opportunity of your lifetime back when crypto was getting started, but it was so risky at that time because we didn't know. We're just speculating on whether it was going to take off or not. But now it seems we have a little bit more confirmation. How do we say it? Confirmation that that crypto's here to stay, that digital's coming in, and that we can actually see it forming right before our eyes, and that this is actually happening, guys. This is really happening. But the other thing that I think has to happen, okay, the other thing I think that has to happen is that as that pullback happens, there needs to be a death to a bunch of the crap coins. In other words, this crypto market has to consolidate. Okay, it has to tighten where the money is flowing out of everything that doesn't have real value. Okay, and what rises to the top are going to be all the major players of the digital age, the ones that have real utility moving forward. Things like Solana, probably things like HBAR, things like Ethereum, things like XRP, things like that. Okay, so understand that I still believe that a move like this, what I've got drawn here takes us into about 2030, 2028, 2030, just depending on how long it takes. But a three-wave pullback that pulls back, and at the end of the day, in the grand scheme of things, when we just zoom out and just look at the chart. Let me get the volume off my screen here just for a second. There we go. When we look at wave structure, we see this thing reset down here. And this is a 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wave 2. And that's when we go moon. And it becomes like an S&P thing. The S&P, we got the new industrial revolution coming, the fourth industrial revolution, the digital age with AI and everything else. And you're just going to see the market. What do you think they're going to do? They're putting their investments into crypto down here. What are they going to do for the rest of their lifetime? It's just going to go up and up and up, just like the S&P's done. And it's just a new market, and everything's changing. So that's the way I see things. That's my macro view of crypto, and of Bitcoin in particular. As I look at this, that's what I think is happening, and I think it's supported by the smaller time frame wave structure. But yeah, we keep hitting the highs, and everybody's freaking out. So let's just do some work here. How do we count this wave? What is it? I think at the end of the day, what you have to do is say you got some kind of 1, 2 right to there. Okay, then we're going to call this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's wave 3 to there. Okay, this is wave 4. Okay, and then this is wave 5. That could be finished, or 5 hasn't finished yet. So it could be finished or not finished yet. Well, let's talk about if it's not finished, what would we expect? Well, we're looking at this as 3 down, 3 up, 5 down, some kind of a running flat, some kind of an expanded flat, some kind of something. Okay. And then one more hit to the high. That'll be the FOMO wave. Could get extended, might not, could get extended. That might get us to the 145 mark. We get real extended. Okay. Do I think this wave that we're on is it? I don't think so. I think it looks too much like a 335. Looks like a 3-wave correction that needs to come down, shake some people out, and then go up. I've been seeing this play in the market. I saw that last week during the live, and I still see it now. In fact, last week I told you guys we were looking for this pump. So if you watched last week's live, my target zone was 122K. Now we've gone beyond it, but dang, if you took that trade, you did really well, right? I can't be perfect in everything that's called as far as wave structure is concerned and what exactly plays out. But man, come on, guys. I called this move up to 122. I didn't know how it was going to go. I offered some ideas, but at the end of the day, it did what it did. I was pretty happy with the stuff. With the ideas that I've shared over the past several weeks. I think I've navigated. To be honest with you, I've navigated this wave very well, very well. I've been real pleased with it. So, hey, if I do say so myself, and really what I want is some of you to say so yourself. All right. Anyway, so yeah, we could see an ABC here. Okay, and then a hit to the high. So that would be that scenario is if this wave isn't finished. That would be, this is part of a wave 4 and this is 5. Or so I don't know where the top would be. We could just take the top out, or we could get extended and go hit 145, get everybody super bullish and super excited, and you get yeah, thanks, Chemo, appreciate it. Yeah, and then looking maybe down after that for that 3-wave move. Okay, now, so there's an idea for you, right? So that's, now I don't know. We could have already topped. So this is an idea that says if we're not done, if we haven't topped and we need a bit of a throw over, that's one wave structure you could say. But what if it has topped? And what if it topped right here? I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There it is. That's it. It topped right there at that wave. Well, what is this? What is all this? Well, good question. Here's what it is. You got a three waves to there. This is 3 waves. Might not be finished. It might have a little bit more up to go. Okay. Might have a little bit more up to go. Don't freak out if it pumps and goes hit the high again. Please don't FOMO. And please tell me, guys, I want everybody right now in the comments, swear, pinky swear, you are not going to FOMO at the top. Please don't FOMO at the top. Would you pinky swear? I want to hear everybody's going to take the pledge. Who's going to take the pledge? I pledge I will not FOMO at the top. Don't get caught here. Don't get caught. Please don't get caught here. Okay. And if you're worried, if you're like, listen, you don't have to trade. Just sit out. Sit out. It's okay to sit on the sidelines. If you don't need to trade this. Lots of shenanigans happening at the top. Okay, we know that. So anyway, but what if this is a flat? And there's your A wave. Now, I don't know how deep this first flat, it could come deep. See this wave right here? See that right there? It's a flat, right? So this could take a number of shapes, right? But this could come down for an A wave. B wave. C wave, or WXY, whatever. And there's the 3-wave shape that I'm looking for. That's another way that this could, again, play out. Now, again, I mean, there's an example. Okay, there's an example where you had what looked like a flat. Okay, but it was just little pullback, and that was nasty. That wave was nasty. Okay. So are we going to get the same wave again? Probably not. We'll get something different, but some kind of 3-wave something. So this could be a flat. That's the first wave down. Again, we've been looking for that first wave. We were thinking, hey, this could be the first wave. We were looking for the second wave and then the third wave. Well, I think by now, I think we're now at the place of invalidation. Like, hey, this isn't it. Now I know everybody's excited for October and what's November called? No Sell November and all that crap. What people talk about. So this might be a way that so we get a dump here at the beginning of. I mean, just an idea. Just let me talk about timing here. I don't know what your cycles are telling you, Chemo, but what if we get a dump that's kind of fast and furious here? Boom, and then we get and then we just on November 1. So November, isn't really, well, I mean, that kind of dump that I just talked about, I mean, that could be 2 weeks in October, and then basically it gets a V-shaped recovery back up in October, and then November we top out 145, 150 range. Boom. Ready to go down towards the end of the year. I see that as a plausible way that time could move forward. Okay. So an idea there. I don't know. But it's an idea. If if we've already topped and we already have our throw over, then we might see an interesting difference, and everybody's expecting up October, November, December, at least from people I've heard. So what if we only see just down, pull back, down, right? And that's how we get down to that 50K range. But I think that's where we're going to see the major volume coming in at these lows. Volume when we come back into this region right here, this region right there, 50K, 50, 60K. That's where the big buyers are going to come back in, and I think that's the area where you really, really, really want to be buying and holding and not letting go for generational wealth. Personally, I think that's where the generational wealth. Now, some people think, Jim, we're not going to see those prices again. Listen, they might have a valid point. Can I just say this, that what I'm telling you could be incorrect. I don't think it's wrong, but it could be. And so I'm not, if it just goes up and up and up, I can't control that, and my idea is wrong. At the end of the day, you have to be ready with your own research, your own decision making. Okay. But if you're, I just don't want you to be FOMOing in especially leveraged trades. If you're spot buying and just holding for perpetuity, that's another story. You want to buy up here, you go ahead, right? Because eventually Bitcoin is going to go well beyond its current price. Okay. Bitcoin is going well beyond $123,000 because the dollar's dying. Okay. It's not because Bitcoin is more expensive. It's because the dollar's losing its value. And so we know that the dollar's dying. We know this is going to happen. Okay. Sorry about that. What was I saying? Oh, we know the dollar's dying. We know that the dollar's losing its value. So to buy and hold Bitcoin at this price, it's not the cheapest price you're going to get, probably, but it's definitely, it will be 10 years from now more expensive. It'll be worth more now, more than likely. So I just think the general rule of thumb, though, is that we need to revisit. Now, one might argue, this wave hasn't really done much in a parabolic nature. Okay, so let me play devil's advocate here and say, well, really, as price has gone up here, we've covered all the gaps. So let me play devil's advocate here. So we had a price kind of went parabolic. It came all the way back down and filled that single print, so to speak. Went straight up here, it came down, and it filled all that. And as price has gone up, it's not really left any price gaps. Okay, gone up, come back down to previous support, not leaving price gaps. Even breaking this high, coming back, breaking, retesting. So all these price gaps have been taken care of. So one might argue that we have really a solid foundation now, you could argue, and that this is about to go parabolic. And I think, that's the bullish argument. Okay, so that could be. But what we do see is a tightening of the RSI. It did break down, and we were making lower lows, lower highs and lower lows, lower low, lower low. So you could argue, as long as this trend holds, that this is actually coming down to make a lower low. The RSI, Relative Strength Index, is getting weaker, even though price is going up. That's divergence, okay? And that's pointing to weakening of the market, a weakening of the market, not a strengthening. Now, I think crypto is here to stay, and or at least digital. The digital world is, but I don't know that all the cryptos that you believe in are here to stay forever. I think they're going to die. How are they going to die? I don't know how they're going to die, except that maybe we have a major pullback in Bitcoin, and then while all these trash coins are at their lows, they pump and dump coins. They're just gonna end up dying, and money's gonna flow completely out of them. And they're gonna sell off. Okay, so let me just boil all this talking down to the final. Crypto Braveheart, you've really hit the nail on the head with the sentiment here. I can make the case both ways. Yeah, and I can't, I think the safest bet is if you're worried about it, is just to hold your bags. That's the safest bet. So as far as spot trading is, let's talk about that just for a minute. Let's just take a minute and let's talk about the difference between spot trading and leverage trading. Okay. If you're spot trading, and you're trying to, and you're worried, and you don't want to miss out, well, then just hold. Because even if we get a dip, okay, more than likely Bitcoin is going to stay, and eventually is going to go to $1 million. Okay, it's going to be a preservation of your capital. I think there's enough evidence to support that. At least that's the narrative. Keep that in mind. Narratives can be, how do I say it? False. But if you believe in crypto, then, the best thing is to hold it. I personally, I would, as far as holding the actual thing, I would, with the way Bitcoin has moved up to this point, more of a swing trader. Swing trading is different than holding for perpetuity, right? But if you're a believer in Bitcoin and you think Bitcoin's going to $1 million, then just hold your stinking Bitcoin. Don't worry about what I'm saying. We could get a dip down to 150, but don't worry about it because it's going to spring back in a couple of years or whatever, and it's eventually going to go higher, and it will, okay? But if you're a leverage trader like me, I've learned that we don't trade big moves. We don't care about big moves. We get in and out. Okay? We get in and out. To give you an example of the kind of stuff that I trade, I traded this short and got out. Okay? So I'm out. I'm flat. I'm not in a trade right now. I traded that short. What am I looking for? Well, I'm kind of looking at this thinking, hey, we probably got another short coming. But I'm letting this play out. I'm letting the wave structure finish. I'm waiting to see the signs in the RSI on the different time frames that I'm looking for. And I'm looking for, but I'm not looking to hold a move. Hold things forever. To give you another example, okay, when I saw that three wave and that three wave, I took that long right there. So I was in for that move. Okay. Once I saw this divergence being created on the small time, I traded that short, got out. Got a three-way pullback, traded that short, got out. I don't know if I hit that or not. I don't think I hit that. But I hit this one. Once I saw that three-wave shape, hit that short. Okay. And I get out. I'm in and out, in and out, in and out. Why? Because I've learned that if you hold stuff, You hold stuff too long, as a leverage trader, they will eventually do crap you don't expect. I mean, come on. I think there were people looking for this to go down for the next level. This looked very corrective, looking for the next level down. What did they do? They took you out instead. What's a good leverage for short? I mean, there's a lot to talk about there. If you're using isolated, I wouldn't use anything more than 5 or 10x. Okay, if you're using isolated, and if you don't know what you're doing trading, even less than that, start with 2x. Okay, that's leverage, but because you can really lose your shirt. Thank you, Camel. We just said the same thing. Okay, I trade 100x, but I trade cross, and I trade very small percentage of my account. Okay. So yeah. Crypto Braveheart, leverage is a tricky game, right? What you say is it's better to buy and sell spot and just to be patient. That's the best thing to do. All right. Here, let me give you guys a quick strategy you can use on the 4-hour chart. Here's a quick strategy for you. 4-hour chart. Are you ready? Right now in the bull run, because we're still in this bullish move. Okay, whenever on the 4-hour it gets oversold. Okay, on the 4-hour, on the second hit, so after it hits, okay, when it pulls back and hits it a second time, that's your buy. And just buy. Okay, so you would have been buying right in here. Okay, and then hold. Okay, for the second hit, see that first hit, boom, came down. Second hit, that's your sell. Okay, it came down, boom, hit the first time, hit the second time. That's your buy on the second hit on the RSI to this level underneath. So the second hit, it's not 100% working. Okay. But it's just an idea. It's just a way. It's a super simple thing. You can use the RSI. Just trade the second hit, not the first hit, second hit. Okay. And only look for buys in the bull run. When we break structure, when structure's broken, you can look for sells. Say when is structure broken? Well, I would say a break of that line right there would be good. A break of that to the downside, look for some sells. Now, there's a lot more to that trading strategy, but that's just a basic idea on the 4-hour chart. Okay. Okay. Back to analysis. Look and see what's going on here. So what is this? Well, it looks like an impulse wave. That for sure. That's an impulse wave. Okay. This is looking more like a 3, 5, even though it came short of 90%. Let's pull the Fips here. Came so close. So close. Doesn't fit the rule, but it's saying it came close. I feel like there's more playing to do up here, guys. This just doesn't look like the best top, though it could be a top. It just doesn't look like the best top. ABC? That's what I'm thinking. I don't know if this is finished or not. That's the point. I don't know if that's finished. I don't think it is. But we got a second hit on the 4 hour here. We got divergences here. So, I mean, it's not a bad sell. I'm personally looking for that. 5 waves down. It might already be starting, or it's got to play around here a bit. Make a wave 4, wave 5, and then down. This just doesn't give me the sense it's finished. That looks more of an intermediate wave, a corrective wave. So I do see the potential for more downside here. Some kind of something, then that. Some kind of wave 4, wave 5, and then down. More than likely. So expect, I don't think this is just coming straight down. Okay, so I think wave structure will bear out something like that, some kind of wave 4, then another hit to the high, and then down. Camel, I'm not sure what you're referring to, buddy. I'm trying to. All right, what I want to do now is I've looked at the micro here. Basically, I'm kind of looking for this to be some kind of flat of some kind. I would imagine. That's at least what it looks like. Don't know how deep we're going to come if it comes down. It could just be a running flat and then more up. So we'll see. We'll see how this plays. At the end of the day, this could pump. This could continue pumping. If it wants to get up and go, it can if it wants to. But, time will have to tell. We'll have to wait and see how this plays. So be careful shorting up here, guys. You can still make money shorting. I mean, like I took, for instance, this short right here. I took that short and held it. I didn't hold it all the way down. I held it till I was done holding it. I'm trying to think of where I took the profit. I think, what day? Right in. It was right in here. Right in here when it started shooting up. I was like going to church. No, where's Sunday? Oh, I'm sorry. Not church. That was Saturday. Boom. Sorry. I was looking at the wrong wave. I'm like, this isn't looking right. Though I did take that short. I didn't hold it down forever. Once it broke that, I was out. Where did I take this short? I took this one from up here. Up here, and this morning, right here. I got out there this morning before church. Yeah. On that pullback. So that's what I made there. So that was my trade this morning. Oh no, they're not getting a free ride. The longs will pay eventually. All right, that was XRP. Let's just we're getting a little bit of a pump now. That's awesome. Let's see. What is that wave? One, two, three. So there's no clean count of that move right there. Boom. 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's finish and come down. Some kind of impulse. Some kind of three-wave to here. Retest. Come down. That's what I'm seeing. Small time frame. So let's see. We get one more little pump up to here and see what happens there. Be a good place to think about a short. Perfect. 618, 786. Target zones for you. Let's see where they line up with extensions. The 2618 lines up with 786. So 125K, guys. Let's see if we get a push up to 125. That's a good place to think about a short. To hold it for a move down. There's a short-term trade for you. If you're a leverage trader, I like that idea. But I want to be careful because does this become some kind of wave 4? We go up for wave 5 after that. You got to be careful with that short, so be ready to take your profit. Black Swan in the live. Caught it on the live stream. Yep. There it is. All right. Exactly. Okay, so there's a trade idea for you if you want. Let's look at Ethereum, see if we can make sense of that wave. Be honest with you guys, I've been saying this a lot. I'm not making a lot of sense of the Ethereum chart, but I'll tell you what it looks like right now. Just looking at it, it looks like you got a 5-wave shape. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that too pretty? It's almost too pretty. I don't believe it. But there's your bullish count for Ethereum. You got 3 waves down. Let's go. So Ethereum looks super bullish. Now that's the 2-day chart. Keep that in mind. So that doesn't mean we can't go down on the next week, and over the next week doesn't mean we can't pull back in any way. I'm just saying that chart looks bullish. You look at this looks very much like 3 waves. Now, here's the interesting thing. Now let's temper that a little bit. That's what it looks like, but it almost looks too pretty. What if? Now, here's the bearish view, real bearish. What if that's a 1, 2, 1, 2? 1, 2, 1. And this is the ugliest 2 you've seen, but that's a 1, 2, 1, 2. And this is getting ready to go down. Okay? So that would mess a bunch of people up right there, buddy. Because you just look at the daily and the 2-day chart. It looks like it almost has to go up. I mean, it just looks like there's nothing else it can do but go up. But when I see that, I'm like, oh, that looks like it has to go up. Does it really have to go up? Is there another way? Because if this rolls over and comes down, then what do you got? What do you got? You got a 1, 2, 1, 2, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. You get a 3-way pullback, another whatever, something deeper. Ethereum bothers me is because I don't understand the macro. I don't understand this on a macro level. The reason I don't understand it, there are parts of it I do very much understand, but there are parts of this I just don't get. And one thing I don't understand about Ethereum is I don't understand this wave necessarily. The best way I can count that is 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. W, X, Y. It's ugly as crap, but best I got. So if that's 3, and then I got 3, 3, 5 to there. Well, what's this? What if that's just 3 and it's finished? And you have just a W, X, and a Y. And all of a sudden, you got 3 down, 3 up, and we're going to get 5 down. Like that. And it's getting ready to go straight down. I cannot get away from that move right there. I just can't get away from it. Camel, I personally am having a hard time with it as a leader, as a leading diag. But maybe. So if ETH is a leading diag, then you got 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're waiting for 5 to finish. So this needs to pop and lag and finish really high late in the game. So yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. That would be a way to make sense of it. But once that finishes, oh man. But so sometimes I like to just, step back and say, okay, let's just draw some stuff here. wave shapes I'm used to seeing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, B, C, B, C. I don't love that. I don't love it, but I don't mind it either. Just the character of this wave is just lost. It's lost on me with this wave and this wave. Just the character of that wave just doesn't make any sense. So I really struggle with Ethereum, understanding the wave structure. I really do, guys. I'm sorry about that, but so I have a really hard time with Ethereum. I'm a big believer in Ethereum. I think it's the banking token of the future. I think it's definitely, in the cards. I think it's a good investment for the future. I think it's a good bet. Camel, what does that mean? And pops, what's that mean? Are lost. XRP charts are lost in pops. Can you rephrase that so I can understand that? Hey, what's up, Ricky Spanish? Good to see you. Glad you made it, buddy. Okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah, XRP is garbage. I I think you want to say this is about to break out. I think that's what you want to say, right? I mean, that's what you're looking at. This is really hard. So, guys, this is not easy from Elliott Wave standpoint. Trying to understand this, it's not simple. Not easy. What I can't get away from with XRP is, what if that's 3 and this is 3, 3, and we need 5 to the downside? I know everybody's looking for an explosive breakout. But we got a single print here. We got a single print that has not been filled. And in the history of XRP, I've not seen a breakout that's not been filled. You might argue it's not a lot of history, but had a breakout here, got filled. Breakout there, got filled. Breakout there, got filled. Got a breakout here, has not been filled yet. What if we get that move to fill it, and then it goes? Again, flash crash, buy the lifetime. Did you already have the buy of the lifetime? Maybe. Are we going to get that crash for sure? I don't know. No, nothing's for sure. But I still see it as a possibility. Is it possible? This is a 1-2, 1-2. This is a series of 1-2s to the downside. Would that not be nasty? What I don't love is all this looks corrective here. Trying to make sense of this. This looks very, very much like a flat. Come on. So we got 3. It says truncated. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, 3, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 1, 2. WXY. What about a triangle for the B wave? Not a fan, but C, D, E, A, B, C. It's not a triangle. It's not. It's not a triangle. You came here for the analysis and you got the bad Arnold Schwarzenegger. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure out XRP. I tell you what, I don't know. I don't know the answer. So so here's what I do when I'm trying to figure out waves. I look at what jumps out at me, right? So what this was jumping out at me right there as a 3. So that jumped out at me. 3. Yeah, first wave 5. Yeah, right. Exactly. That's what I see. I can make the argument for a WXY, but let's just say 5. That's what I saw. Then you got a 3-wave pullback. Then you could call this a diag. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. 3-wave pullback. And then we lose. I lose it here. This is where I lose it. Why? Because this doesn't make sense. It was making sense up to here, and now it doesn't make any sense. Why? I mean, well, we got this three-wave pullback, and then this impulse, and then what? I mean, what? It didn't take the low. It didn't even make sense. That's an impulse wave out of nowhere that did nothing. So I mean, that right there, that impulse just completely, screwed me up personally, just as far as understanding the wave. Because that's an impulse wave. Best I can tell, there's impulse. That was three waves. I was expecting impulse back down. That's what I was saying last week. 3, 3, 3. Hit the high. Then let's come up and do this thing. Hit that high and then come down. I would have been perfect. I would have been like, yeah, I understand that wave structure. That wave structure makes sense. But yeah, this doesn't make any sense to me. So again, just trying to offer an Elliott wave understanding, and I'm lost right here. I'm lost. All right, so let's go back and let's try something different. What if you got A, B, C to there? No, that took the low. That took the low. Dag on it. It took the low. So again, that jumps out at me. That jumps out. This is where I get lost. So let's call that 3, 3, 3. But it doesn't take the low hardly. It barely does. Yeah. Let's do some small time frame. Looks very much like three waves. Very much. So what's going on here? What's going on? Did it pull back 90%? Nope. Yeah, XRP is a conundrum, guys. I've done my best, and I don't have it. I don't have any answers. I don't have any answers for you. So let's just talk macro here. If this is revving up to the downside, watch out for that move right there. Where price just kind of tanks. And then goes. What kind of FUD is going to be going on for that move to happen? What kind of FUD? What kind of... Are we going to war? What do you guys know about the generals that were called to meet and all the, what's going on? Anybody got any theories? I don't have any answers. I just got questions on this wave structure. Well, it's been an hour and a half, guys. It's a big I don't know. This is what I call an I don't know burger, guys. It's where we are in the chart. S. Joe Coco. Yeah, that's yeah, exactly. What's Mr. Don gonna tweet? We live in some really weird times, don't we, guys? It's crazy. Well, I don't know what to say, guys. Wage structure is really, really hard. I don't have any answers this week. Let's see if this week. I don't know. Let's see if we get any help this week from the charts. Wish I could give you a better diagnosis of the charts. We're in limbo right now. Expecting some play around here, but yeah, let's see what happens. My number one idea in Bitcoin is that we're making some kind of, on the 4-hour chart, that we're making some kind of flat. Some kind of flat. Well, Chemo, what you got? You got any videos for us? You going to be putting them out? We'll have to come watch. See what you got to offer. Don't forget to check out my channel, guys. My Show Us Christ channel. I shared on the front end of the live stream. I'm going to call it a night, I think. I think I'm done. I get tired of looking at charts saying, I don't know. The wave structure is super challenging right now, but I am looking for a downward move. I'm kind of looking for this move. It doesn't mean we can't play around here at the top, but I am kind of looking for this short. So that would be my take this week. Something now, whether it plays around all week and then comes down later next week, that's another story, right? But I'm looking for this wave to develop. So let's see how it develops. How does this top develop out? Does this play around up here first and then come down? Yeah, probably. So we're going to be playing around for the next week or two? Probably. So, all right, guys. Well, I'm gonna leave it at that. I hope you all have a fantastic evening. Thanks for joining me on the channel tonight. Appreciate it. I appreciate you. Had a lot of fun. Camel, thanks for being so active in the chat. Good to see you, buddy. Anyway, hope you guys have a fantastic night. Appreciate y'all. Chemo, we'll have to see you on the next one, buddy. All right, guys. Thanks again. Have a good night.